Qualitative analysis of organic compound includes the detection of various elements present in the organic molecule. Quality stands for whatever is present in the mixture, whatever is present in the organic compound, whether it is present or not. In general, organic compounds are formed by the combination of different elements. The most common elements in the discussion of the early classes also we made, whereas the primary combination generally occurs in between carbon and the hydrogen. Along with the carbon and the hydrogen, the other elements, those generally present inside the organic molecules are: one is nitrogen, sulfur, halogens as well as the phosphorus. Thus, these elements, out of these all varieties of combinations, which particular element is present in the organic molecule, whether it is present or not, such an information is given from the qualitative analysis. Qualitative gives whether it is present or absent, such kind of information is given. And the general elements with which organic compounds are made are: one is carbon, hydrogen, followed by sulfur, nitrogen, halogens like chlorine, bromine, iodine, similarly here phosphorus. These are the elements generally present in organic molecules. In general, every organic molecule is consisting of carbon as well as the hydrogens combination. Along with this, nitrogen containing compounds like nitro compounds, amines, similarly sulfur containing compounds, and here the oxygen containing like halogen containing like chlorides, bromides, iodide, followed by sometimes we may come across the organic compounds consisting phosphorus like these are the elements. There is another element, that is oxygen, but there is no special tool is there for the identification of oxygen. Hence, the common elements present in the organic molecules eligible for detection, whether they are present or not. That qualitative analysis, under the category of qualitative analysis, we will cover the topics like whether carbon is present or not, then how to identify the presence of carbon. Similarly, hydrogen, sulfur, nitrogen, halogens like chlorine, bromine, iodine, followed by the phosphorus. Yes, for qualitative analysis also here some chemical reactions are to be executed over the organic molecule. For the conduction of chemical reactions, we need some of the reacting species which are known as reagents. As a result of reactions, some new compounds are going to be prepared, and some complexes formation can also occur. Their physical state may differ, their colors may differ. Thereby, we can identify the presence of a particular expected element, reference element present in the organic molecules. Thus, in this qualitative analysis, we will do the chemical transformations, some reagents are needed, some new compounds are formed. These all are well-known primary compounds. Thus, what are the general varieties of compounds, what are the reagents, and why these chemical reactions are to be conducted? Let us have a discussion. Organic molecules are covalent in nature. The nature of bond present in the organic molecules with respect to carbon is 99.9% of the cases, that is covalent in nature. But whereas to identify the individual element like whether carbon is present, hydrogen is present, nitrogen is present, halogen is present, sulfur is present, phosphorus is present, we have to convert that compound into the ionic form. Suppose if sulfur is present in the form of S-2, phosphorus is present in the form of P-3. In that way, the identification of species will become easy. Thus, first of all, we want to convert, otherwise we will convert the organic molecule of covalent in nature compounds of the composition to the ionic natured composition. Thereby, identification of species, identification of atoms present in the organic molecules becomes easy. So that's what we have to first convert the covalent nature containing organic molecule of composition to the ionic natured composition. Thereby detection, identification or giving information related to the presence or absence of a particular ion or atom in the molecule becomes easy. That's what chemical reactions and chemical reagents are definitely used in the identification, that is qualitative analysis of atoms present in the organic molecules. Thus, some special tests are to be executed over organic molecule to convert the covalent nature of the substance towards the ionic nature of expected ionic form of expected elements. Thus, with the strong metals like the sodium, execution is offered, and that particular test is said to be the sodium fusion extraction test, or it is also known as Lessons test. Some compounds used in the qualitative analysis of organic molecules, we will use generally cupric oxide. Cupric oxide is present with the copper with +2 oxidation state followed by oxygen with the -2 oxidation state. Copper is present in +2 oxidation state, and it is acting as good oxidizing agent. It undergoes reduction by taking electrons, and it is converted to cuprous oxide followed by liberation of oxygen. Hence, that is copper +2 state is converted to copper +1 state. It is possible by taking of electrons, and it is acting as good oxidizing agent. It is acting as source of oxygen. And here we will use the aqueous calcium hydroxide solution, which is also known as lime water, and calcium bicarbonate formation takes place, which is of white colored precipitations are present, otherwise milky white appearance is also present. And here calcium bicarbonate, once again that milkiness disappears and appears in the form of just a solution, that is calcium bicarbonate. So another one compound, that is calcium bicarbonate. The next is copper sulfate. If it is anhydrous copper sulfate, it appears as a white powder, whereas if it is contaminated with water, if it is mixed with water, if any water vapor is there, with the water vapor it combines and it forms copper sulfate pentahydrate, which is having blue color crystals. Thus the compounds cupric oxide, oxidizing agent, and the aqueous calcium hydroxide, which is known as lime water, calcium carbonate is white color precipitate, and calcium bicarbonate is once again precipitate, disappears and it dissolves, appears as just aqueous solution which is having little white color. And the copper sulfate anhydrous is having white in color, that is a powdered form, and the copper sulfate pentahydrate is blue color and it is having crystalline form. This is powdered, and the copper sulfate pentahydrate is a blue colored crystal. Yes, sodium is more electropositive metal, and it forms ionic compounds with the elements present in the organic molecule. Sodium on heating with the organic molecule, as being it is more electropositive, it combines with the individual elements present in the organic molecule and it forms corresponding ionic compounds. Thus the different varieties of sodium related ionic compounds formed on reaction of sodium with the organic compounds are sodium cyanide, whereas the structural representation is present in such a way that cyanide, carbon and nitrogen is having triple bond, carbon is having one electron pair extra, hence it is having 1 unit negative charge, sodium 1 unit positive charge. Ions formation is present, or ions are present side by side nearer to one another. Sodium cyanide, similarly sodium sulfide, sulfide connected with the two sodiums, sodium halide like chloride, bromide, iodide, and sodium thiocyanate, sodium NaCNS, whereas here connectivity is present in such a way that sulfur is having 1 unit of negative charge is connected with the sodium electrostatically, and it is connected with the cyanide. This is said to be the sodium thiocyanate. The compounds formed are sodium cyanide, sodium sulfide, sodium halide, it is chloride, bromide, iodide, and the sodium thiocyanate. Some exceptional organic compounds are hydrazine, which is not having any kind of carbon, hydroxylamine, an organic compound not having any kind of carbon content, and the hydrazonium salts. Here nitrogen is having such a nature that the triple bond containing nitrogen want to eliminate from the system, under extreme conditions in the form of nitrogen gas out, that is diazonium salts. These compounds are exceptional organic compounds for the detection and the analysis. Detection of nitrogen related analysis of its corresponding different compounds. Those of all are the sodium on reaction with the organic compound. If it is associated with nitrogen, carbon is a definite element, thus it forms sodium cyanide. And here we are using another compound, that is ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate, in which ferrous is present with the +2 oxidation state, that is ferrous sulfate Fe2 plus state. And another one reagent that we are using is concentrated sulfuric acid. In this, sulfur is present with the +6 oxidation state, hence it is acting as oxidizing agent. Thus, the compounds formed are FeCN6 4- hexacyanoferrite 2 formation takes place, and as of its consequences, new compounds formation also takes place, that is FeCN6 4- hexacyanoferrite 2. Yes, in detection of sulfur, we are using from outside salts like sodium nitroprusside, whereas the formula of the sodium nitroprusside is Na2FeCN5NO. And here the other compounds used are acetic acid, lead acetate, and here the lead sulfide, which is a black color precipitate formation occurs, and the other violet colored complex formed when sulfur is present is FeCN5NOS. This is having violet in color, that is FeCN5NOS. Yes, in detection of halogen, the general chemicals used as one is nitric acid, which is just as used as an acid, followed by silver nitrate. As a result, forms the corresponding halides as silver chloride, silver bromide, silver iodide. All are precipitates. Silver chloride is white precipitate, silver bromide is pale yellow precipitate, silver iodide is dark yellow precipitate. On reaction with ammonium hydroxide, it is soluble in ammonium hydroxide and it is partially soluble, whereas it is insoluble, thereby by its precipitation, followed by its color, followed by its solubility. Whichever halogen is present in the organic molecule, that can be detected. Yes, some of the oxidizing agents used in the detection of organic compounds are, one is chlorine water, which is one of the good oxidizing agent, as well as KMnO4, because here chlorine is present in zero oxidation state, it want to convert towards minus oxidation state. In KMnO4 also highest positive oxidation state is present for the manganese, it is also acting as good oxidizing agent. Similarly, in the last case in the analysis of phosphorus, so sodium metal followed by organic compound, that leads to the formation of ionic compound like sodium phosphate is resulted. That sodium phosphate, once again reaction with acids like H3PO4, that is converted to on reaction with acids it is converted to phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid on reaction with ammonium molybdate, it is converted to ammonium phosphomolybdate, whereas the formula as well as color of the ammonium phosphomolybdate is ammonium NH4 thrice PO4 followed by 12 units of molybdate, molybdenum trioxide, that is MoO3 is present. Similarly, in a combined case of nitrogen and the sulfur presence, here it is forming thiocyanate. This thiocyanate on reaction with the Fe3 plus substances, it leads to the formation of a blood red in colored solution formation. These of all are general compounds, reagents, as well as the components present in the transformations. Now we will go for each particular individual element related presence and absence information, that is qualitative analysis of elements. Yes, after conduction of the Lessonsi test, we will explain what is meant by Lessonsi test. We will go in sequence related to the analysis of elements like carbon and hydrogen as a combination at once, followed by the nitrogen individually, sulfur individually. If both are present, then what it is going to be showing as a special case, Then we will go for the presence of halogen like the chloride, bromide as well as the iodide. In the last we will focus our attention towards the presence of the another one element, that is phosphorus in the organic molecule. This sequence of order is very correct because here some of the elements are having higher reactivity. If I directly go for the halogen, they may interfere. That's what the sequence has to be maintained, and at some places precautions are to be taken to eliminate the components found in the previous test. So the order related to the elemental analysis of organic compounds are carbon and hydrogen as a combined test, followed by individually nitrogen, sulfur. If both are there, then what is the extra test and the extra color that it is to be forming, followed by the halogens like chloride, bromide, iodide. In the last we are going for the phosphorus. The experimental setup used for the detection of carbon and the hydrogen and the chemicals appears in such a manner that here we have to heat the organic compound, whatever we have to analysis for the qualitative analysis, whichever organic compound is considered, that has to be heated. So therefore we are taking the test tube, and in the test tube organic compound is to be taken, and it is allowed to heat in such a manner that we will take the help of the Bunsen burner. And as a result of heating, the gases will comes out of the system. So therefore a proper outlet for the gas has to be adjusted for the test tube, and here a test tube is present in such a way that it is inserted into the another test tube consisting of aqueous calcium hydroxide solution. That is said to be lime water. This is lime water. The gas coming out of the organic compound as a result of heating is entertained into the second test tube consisting of aqueous solution of calcium hydroxide, which is known as lime water. Whereas this is organic compound, OC stands for organic compound, and here gas outlet is there, and here we are keeping copper sulfate. Which copper sulfate? Here we are keeping anhydrous copper sulfate, that is without having any kind of water, that is said to be anhydrous copper sulfate, which is present in the form of just a white powder that has to be kept at the beginning of the gas tube. So therefore here on heating of the organic compound, whatever the organic compound followed by oxidizing agent copper oxide has to be present. So therefore another one is copper oxide plus Cu. Both are to be, both combination has to be taken. This is acting as oxidizing agent. Now as a result of heating of the cupric oxide followed by the organic compound at high temperature, the cupric oxide as being it is oxidizing agent, what it will do is it undergo oxidation, thus it is converted to cupric oxide to copper plus 1 state followed by source of oxygen, thus it is converted to Cu2O followed by oxygen gas is going to be liberated. So here we can write the balanced equation. Now from -2 oxidation state it is converted to 0 oxidation state. So I required 4 here. So therefore this will be 2 plus 2 4, that is a balanced equation. Now it is acting as a source of oxygen. On heating this particular process is going to be coming. That's what, to make it activate, to make it as a instantaneous oxidizing agent, we are heating the cupric oxide. As a result it is converted to cuprous oxide followed by oxygen gas. At this high temperature this oxygen gas and the organic compound combines with one another. As a result, whatever the carbon content and the hydrogen content is there, these two contents present in the organic molecule combines with the oxygen. As a result it is forming carbon dioxide gas followed by water at high temperature in the form of water vapor, that is also gaseous form. Thus these gases will occupy highest volume, so therefore they completely fills the test tube and they want to occupy the total available space, which is the basic nature of the gas. It enters into the inlet, and here copper sulfate is there. Copper sulfate is anhydrous, but it is having hygroscopic nature. It readily combines with the moisture if it is available. So therefore this water molecules readily combines with the copper sulfate anhydrous, that is copper sulfate anhydrous is there. This on combination with water, it leads to the formation of copper sulfate pentahydrate. This is colorless powder form and it is blue colored crystal. blue crystals formation occurs, that indicates presence of hydrogen, presence of water, nothing but where from water is coming? Water is coming from the hydrogen quantity present in the organic molecule, hence we can identify the presence of hydrogen. Similarly, whatever the carbon and the oxygen combination leads to the formation of carbon dioxide, that passes through the copper sulfate chamber, there is no reaction, and once it enters into the other end, there calcium hydroxide solution is present. This calcium hydroxide readily combines with the carbon dioxide. So therefore this calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide readily combines with one another, that it leads to the formation of white precipitate, that is calcium carbonate formation takes place. CaCO, calcium carbonate, lime water, that is said to be what? White precipitate formation takes place, that is lime water formation takes place. Thus here the presence of hydrogen is detected by the change in color of the copper sulfate of colorless to the blue colored crystalline formation, and the aqueous solution of calcium hydroxide is converted to milky white in appearance, and if it is excess ending it can be forming precipitate also. Thus milky white appearance of calcium hydroxide, lime water to milky white appearance reveals the presence of carbon dioxide which is coming from the carbon. Thus carbon presence as well as the hydrogen presence is detected by this particular test, in that the oxidizing agent is cupric oxide. Cupric oxide is converted to cuprous oxide by liberating oxygen. This oxygen readily combines with carbon and forms carbon dioxide. Hydrogen and forms water vapor. Water vapor combines with the copper sulfate anhydrous, which is colorless to blue colored crystalline formation. Similarly, carbon dioxide combines with the lime water, which is white colored aqueous solution, is converted to milky white appearance, reveals the presence of both carbon as well as the hydrogen, which are the primary compositions generally present in most of the organic compounds. For the other elements like nitrogen, sulfur and the halogen detection, a special test has to be executed over the organic compound, and that test is said to be the sodium fusion test, or the test solution is said to be the Lessonsi test, otherwise the Lessonsi solution. Whereas in this case what we will do is, organic compound is mixed with freshly cut a small piece of sodium in the fusion tube, and it is heated to high temperature. Thereby sodium metal melts and sodium metal fuses, and the fused sodium metal is very reactive. It reacts with the organic molecule, it breaks all the connectivities present in the organic molecule. As a result, it is going to be forming, if suppose sodium followed by organic compound generally consisting of carbon, if it is having nitrogen, carbon and the nitrogen's combination leads to the formation of sodium cyanide. Similarly, if sulfur is there, sodium sulfide formation takes place. Suppose here it is having nitrogen and the sulfur both, then it is going to be forming sodium thiocyanate. Like this compounds formation takes place. Thus after formation of these particular compounds in the fusion state, then it is immediately taken into the water bath with a proper care. It has to be immersed in the water bath, thereby it was blasted. Then it has to be rubbed with the piston. Then it is filtered. That filtrate solution is consisting of ionic compounds, because we are taking water bath. Water is having aqueous nature, that is ionic nature. All the compounds formed from the organic compound and the sodium combinations, all are ionic compounds. This is covalent in nature. This covalent nature compound is allowed to react with the high reactivity containing metal present in the fused state. As a result, it breaks all the connectivities and individual atoms are formed. These atoms combines with the sodium. Everywhere sodium is more electropositive. So therefore sodium combines with the sulfur, sodium sulfide. Sodium combines with the nitrogen and the carbon combination. Those two combines one another in the beginning, forms the cyanide ion. That is here sodium cyanide formation takes place. Sodium sulfite, and if both are there, these three will combine in the beginning and they combines with the sodium to form the ionic compound. These of all compounds are ionic in nature. Thus sodium cyanide, sodium sulfide, sodium thiocyanate formation takes place. The extract, the filtrate is said to be the Lessonsi extract or sodium fusion extract. This particular aqueous solution consisting of, as per the composition is concerned, maybe it is having just sodium cyanide, maybe it is having just sodium sulfide. If both are there at the same time, it is also associated with the sodium thiocyanate. With this composition having of these compounds help has to be taken to detect the nitrogen, to detect the sulfur. If both are there, this particular composition help has to be taken to detect the elements like nitrogen presence, sulfur presence, as well as the both nitrogen and the sulfur presence in the organic molecule. The filtrate obtained is known as sodium fusion extract, otherwise the Lessonsi test solution. Detection of nitrogen is done with the proper colors of the complexes formed in the analysis, whereas Lessonsi test solution has to be taken in the beginning. If it is having nitrogen, then it is forming sodium cyanide. Sodium cyanide aqueous solution we are taking, that is present in the Lessonsi test. Yes, that Lessonsi test is allowed to react with the ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate, in which ferrous is present in +2 oxidation state. Ferrous is a D black element, and here it is an ionic compound. Sodium cyanide is an ionic compound. That's what, to make the ionic compound we executed the sodium fusion test. In that, sodium is present in +1 oxidation state, cyanide with the -1 oxidation state. The cyanide combines with the ferrous 2+, because it is a D black element having many of the vacant d orbitals. It leads to the formation of a new complex compound, coordinate covalent complex, which is having coordinate covalent bond here, ionic bond here. The compound is Na4FeCN6, that is sodium hexacyanoferrate 2 formation takes place. Here, ferrous is present in +2 oxidation state, cyanide is unidentate negative ligand, sodium is having 1 unit of positive charge, that is sodium hexacyanoferrate 2 formation takes place. And here, after formation of this particular one, a small drop of concentrated HCl is added to the solution, whereas concentrated HCl, as we discussed in the chemicals place, sulfur is present in +2 or +6 oxidation state, that is highest possible oxidation state. As being it is concentrated, it is having ability to undergo reduction, so it is acting as good oxidizing agent. It oxidizes whatever the ferrous sulfate is there, excess we are taking. The remaining amount of ferrous sulfate is because it is taken excess. This excess combines with this, whereas the remaining, after reaction, the remaining ferrous sulfate on reaction with the concentrated sulfuric acid, it is converted to Fe+2 state to Fe3+ state. Ferrous sulfate is converted to ferric sulfate. This is also ionic compound. Now here we are having ferrous with the +3 oxidation state. This +3 oxidation state ferrous recombines with the anion present in the complex compound FeCN6 4-, and that leads to the formation of a new complex, that is ferriferrocyanide, Fe4FeCN6 thrice. Here ferrous is present in +2 oxidation state, ferrous is present in +3 oxidation state, hence it is said to be ferriferrocyanide. Hence the name is here ferrihexacyanoferrate 2. Ferrihexacyanoferrate 2, which is having blue color, Prussian blue in color, a very attracting blue color formation of solution takes place, that leads to the information or conclusion that nitrogen is present, because that is formed due to the cyanide complex. Cyanide is coming from the nitrogen present in the organic molecule. Thus, the sodium fusion extract on reaction with excess ferrous sulfate, in the beginning it forms Na4FeCN6. This on reaction with concentrated sulfuric acid is converted to Fe3+ state. The formed Fe3+ ion is having more cationic ability, it replaces the sodium and combines with the FeCN6 4-, that it leads to the formation of ferriferrocyanide, which is having blue color in appearance. The solution is converted to blue in color because it is having high solubility. The blue color indicates formation of Prussian blue, which is coming from the cyanide. Cyanide is coming from the nitrogen present in the organic molecule. Here there are some exceptions, because in the detection of the nitrogen presence, in the beginning it is forming cyanide ion. The cyanide ligand is forming complexes with the ferrous and the ferric combinations, Prussian blue color formation occurs. If suppose nitrogen is there, then only nitrogen is not enough to form the cyanide anion. So therefore it requires carbon. There are certain organic compounds where there is nitrogen is present but there is no carbon, like hydrazine is there, hydroxylamines are there, and a special case, though it is having of carbons but nitrogen is not that much free enough to combine with the carbon. It is having volatile nature, nitrogen N2 triatomic molecule, that is a triple bonded diatomic molecule having gaseous state, permanent gas which can be evaporated easily in case of diazonium salts. Thus diazonium compounds, phenylhydrazine, hydrazines, hydroxylamines etc. are unfit to identify the presence of corresponding nitrogen with this Lessonsi based detection of nitrogen execution. Yes, detection of sulfur. The Lessonsi test is consisting of sodium sulfide if it is just having only sulfur. So this sodium sulfide, that is Lessonsi extract. Lessonsi extract is allowed to react with the sodium nitroprusside, which is a salt, a complex compound, that is Na2FeCN5N. This sodium nitroprusside readily combines with the sodium sulfide because it is having S-2 and it forms a new complex, that is Na4FeCN5NOS formation takes place. And here that particular complex is having violet color, it offers violet color to the solution. Thereby we can identify that sulfur is present in the organic molecule. Yes, if both nitrogen and sulfur is present along with the carbon, then it leads to the formation of sodium thiocyanate. This sodium thiocyanate consisting of thiocyanate as anion which is acting as a ligand, and this particular portion, whereas it is present in such a way that sulfur connected with carbon with the nitrogen having lone pair, and sulfur is having 3 lone pairs having 1 unit of positive negative charge. Now here it is better ligand because its size is bigger, it is having unit of negative charge extra. So therefore with this it is acting as the active ligand atom containing ligand. Active atom in the ligand is sulfur. It combines with the ferric chloride because ferrous is present in +3 oxidation state, having many vacant d orbitals present in D black metal with the +3 positive oxidation state, eligible for the accommodation of ligands. Thus this combines with the ferric chloride and replaces 3 chlorines, and it leads to the formation of ferric thiocyanate. Whereas ferric thiocyanate is having a special feature. When ferric thiocyanate is formed, it is present in dissolved situation because it is having higher solubility, and moreover it offers a red color. That red color is so thick that it appears in the form of blood red color. That blood red color formation indicates the presence of both sulfur as well as the nitrogen along with the carbon in the organic molecule. The next in sequence for the detection is halogen. But before going to the detection, the exact detection of the halogen, the Lessonsi test solution is heated with the HNO3, which is an acid, a strong acid. On doing heating of the Lessonsi solution with HNO3, what it will do is, it combines with the sodium cyanide present in the dissolved part of Lessonsi solution if it is consisting of nitrogen. It combines with the sodium sulfide part of Lessonsi solution if it is consisting of the sulfur. Thus it leads to the formation of hydrogen cyanide, and followed by here sodium hydrogen sulfide formation takes place. Under heating conditions, hydrogen cyanide is evaporated. Similarly, H2S is a gas that can be evaporated. If this process is not executed, then what happens is, yes, whatever the cyanide is there, that cyanide readily combines with the silver and forms silver cyanide. That sulfide readily combines with the silver and forms the silver sulfide. Thus it gives unnecessary interruption. To avoid this, the Lessonsi solution, before going for the analysis of halides, it has to be heated in presence of excess of concentrated HNO3 to evaporate the cyanide as hydrogen cyanide, sulfide as hydrogen sulfide. Then the actual test of halide detection starts. Yes, the Lessonsi extract, which is consisting of halogens as halide in the form of sodium halides, are allowed to react with the aqueous solution of the silver nitrate because it is also having ionic in nature. Thus a double displacement reaction takes place that leads to the formation of, if it is having X minus as Cl, silver chloride, silver bromide, silver iodide, all are precipitates. If silver chloride is formed, then it is having white in color. If silver iodide is formed, that is having yellow in color, which is of dark yellow. Whereas if it is forming silver bromide, bromide is present, silver bromide is formed, that is also yellow, but that yellow is light yellow, otherwise pale yellow precipitate formation takes place. Now the formation followed by color, sometimes it gives us confusion. To avoid this confusion, the second step is executed over the formed precipitates. Suppose if it is silver chloride, the silver chloride reaction with aqueous ammonium hydroxide, then it undergoes dissolution and it is completely, whatever precipitate is there, precipitate is completely dissolved. Whereas if it is silver iodide, then on reaction with aqueous ammonium hydroxide, the precipitate remains as precipitate, the color remains as color, there is no change. Whereas if it is silver bromide, which is of pale yellow precipitate, on reaction with aqueous ammonium hydroxide, partially soluble, that is partial solubility is associated with the silver bromide. Thus you can confirm the presence of chloride, bromide, iodide not only by the precipitation followed by the color, by next step reaction with the aqueous ammonium hydroxide solution also. Here in the first case it forms diamine silver chloride, which is a soluble precipitate, a soluble complex. Thus the precipitate whatever is there for the silver chloride, now it undergoes dissolution. The formed new compound is having higher solubility, hence precipitation is disappeared, precipitation is maintained, and partial disappearance is present for the silver bromide. Yes, the other test used for the detection of halogens, especially bromine and the iodine, is organic layer test. Lessons extract or Lessons solution is aqueous solution. If it is having halogen that is present in the form of sodium halide, maybe it is bromide or the iodide, and this is combined with the organic solvent like either carbon disulfide, otherwise the DCM, dichloromethane, and here an oxidizing agent is used. Oxidizing agent oxidizes the halide ion to the halogen. As a result, suppose if it is having bromide, that bromide is converted to, where it is converted to Br2 bromine. If it is having iodide is converted to iodine. Whereas this bromine is organic, soluble in organic solvent, comes to the organic solvent and it offers color. That color is, this bromine is having, iodine is having violet color, whereas bromine is having red brown color, that is red brown color is there. Thus we can identify the presence of the halide ion, maybe it is bromide ion, otherwise the iodide ion, etc. Whereas the general oxidizing agents are chlorine water we will use, otherwise we will use KMnO4 solution. Chlorine water, by using it as oxidizing agent, it has converted to chloride and it oxidizes Br minus to Br0. Similarly, KMnO4 present in plus 7 oxidation state undergoes reduction to plus 2 oxidation state containing compounds, that is manganese, chloride, etc. Whereas manganese halide followed by, here whatever the halide is there, that undergoes oxidation to halogen. Thus bromine red brown color, iodine violet color, offering to the organic solvent, indicates the presence of bromide ion, otherwise the iodide ion present in the organic molecule. This red brown color is also known as orange color. Yes, another test is also present in analysis of experiments, analysis of the halides like Bailey-Stein test, especially valid for the halide ions presence. A copper wire is taken and copper wire is turned just like a round coil at the end, and on that organic compound which is going to be detected is going to be placed on the wire, a small amount. Thus it is heated under the influence of Bunsen burner. Thus the copper combines with the organic compound, and whatever the higher heat conditions, the bonds are broken. Whatever the halogens are there, those of all halogens combines with copper and forms corresponding copper halides. Copper halides under these high temperature conditions are volatile in nature and they are converted to the vapor state and they will offer different colors to the Bunsen flame. Thereby generally the presence of halide can be done. But here color is not so proper enough to identify whether that is chloride ion, bromide ion, otherwise the iodide ion. Moreover, non-halogen containing organic compounds like urea, thiourea also can provide the same color changes, thereby it becomes a little bit difficult. And this test is known as Bailey-Stein's test. The last one is detection of phosphorus. Phosphorus containing organic compounds are also be done not with the help of the Lessans extract, similar to that of the carbon presence and the hydrogen presence, how we do. In the same way, these are also oxidized with the strongest oxidizing agent. That strongest oxidizing agent is sodium peroxide. Sodium peroxide on reaction with the organic compound, which is acting as strongest oxidizing agent, then organic compound undergoes oxidation. Whatever the phosphorus is there in the organic compound, that is converted as sodium related phosphorus compound, sodium phosphate formation takes place. This sodium phosphate on reaction with HNO3, that sodium is replaced by the hydrogen and phosphoric acid is obtained. This phosphoric acid obtained is allowed to react with ammonium molybdate. Ammonium molybdate is, that is yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, that is with the +6 oxidation state. So therefore diammonium molybdenum tetra oxide, that is said to be ammonium molybdate with +6 oxidation state, and these are 2 +8 is counterbalanced by the 4 oxygens ammonium molybdate. Thus it leads to the formation of a new yellow color precipitate, that is ammonium phosphomolybdate. An adduct formation takes place, ammonium phosphate followed by 12 units of 1:12 ratio of molybdenum trioxide. Thus ammonium phosphomolybdate formation takes place, which this is ammonium molybdate, this is ammonium phosphomolybdate. Here there is no phosphorus, ammonium and molybdenum oxides. Ammonium phosphorus followed by molybdenum oxides, hence it is said to be ammonium phosphomolybdate, which is a precipitate appearing in the yellow color, indicates the presence of phosphorus. Thus we made the qualitative analysis related to the carbon, analysis related to the hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, combination of nitrogen and sulfur, halogen followed by the phosphorus. This is the total general qualitative analysis related to the organic molecules.